forecast 70-degree night in Central Florida. We welcome you to Amway Arena in downtown Orlando for what has developed into a physical series. Game 3 Sunday night at its testy moments, leading to 58 personal fouls, 2 technicals, and 86 free throws in all. Things starting to get chippy for both teams. It will be the usual sellout crowd, better than 17,000 making their way in as we get ready for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic. The Magic looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the series, and the Cavaliers try to even things up at 2 apiece. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Doug Collins will be joined momentarily by Craig Sager. Craig working the sidelines. Let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups for the Cavs. LeBron James, who did score 41 in Game 3, but shot just 11 for 28, and he needs help. It's been a disappointing series for Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Mo Williams, and the Cavalier bench. For the Magic, Dwight Howard, who demonstrated in Game 3 that, yes, he can't hit his free throws. Hedo Turkoglu looking to bounce back from that 1 for 11 the other night. And Rafer Alston, who helped to jumpstart Orlando, had his best game of the series. Now, Doug, what do you see as the keys for tonight's Game 4?
Well, Marv, as we see LeBron James, Cleveland is at their best when they have more balance on the offensive end. LeBron James has 43% of their points in this series, 49% in the second half. You talked about other guys having to step up and make some shots, and Dwight Howard really changed the whole personality of these series. In Game 1, he was 14 of 20, had 26 points in the paint, 6 dunks, so he said, we're going to go to the double team. In Game 2, he had only 10 points, and then in Game 3, they went to fouling. He had 24 points, got to the line 19 times, and made 14 of those. So the whole personality changed on how they were going to defend Dwight Howard. The bench production, it's been Michael Pietrus, 39 points, outscoring the Cleveland bench that only has 27, a little over 14 points a game advantage for the Magic off the bench. And then how about the fourth quarter story? All the drama in Cleveland. In Game 1, it was Lewis and Turkoglu. Lewis with a game winner. They combined for 21 in the fourth quarter. And then it was Game 2. It was James and Mo Williams, 15 in the fourth quarter. LeBron James three-pointer that won that game at the buzzer. And then in Game 3, Magic hit 19 of 23 free throws in that fourth quarter. Howard 8 of 10. We talked to Mike Brown before the game, and he said they're going to still continue to foul him, so that free throw line might be the story here again tonight.
And for the Cavaliers, it is their second must-win game of the series, and it's only Game 4 for LeBron James. This may be the biggest game of his NBA career, but the Cavs in danger of falling behind 3-1.
And Marv, you know, LeBron is capable. We've seen him through the years. We've seen him go to Detroit and that show he put on there in Game 5. But still, he's going to have some help. Some of these guys are going to have to make some shots early so that he doesn't wear down in that fourth quarter. The last couple of games, he's had some turnovers. He has not shot the ball well. He needs to be fresh in that fourth quarter.
Dwight Howard stealing the tip. So the Cavaliers will take possession. The officials, Scott Foster, Mike Callahan, Joe DeRosa, Williams and West at the guards, with Ilgauskas, Varejao, and James on the front line. Williams setting the pick. And a foul. No, defensive 3 is called. So a technical foul awarded.
I do like that first possession, though. Cleveland had movement in their offense. And Marv, the thing that I have seen is when they've gotten in trouble, they've gotten stagnant. They've had very little player movement, very little ball movement, and they get caught watching LeBron James. And Marv, it's easy to do. When a guy's playing that great, you have a tendency to want to stay out of his way. That cannot be the case here tonight.
Do you have the feeling that LeBron has lost confidence in his teammates?
I don't think there's any question that he doesn't trust them quite as much. That's human nature, especially when he's going to bear the brunt of the winning and losing. And he had 49 and 41 in their 2 losses.
And here's Alston for 3. So Rafer Alston was able to get the Magic off to that quick start the other night, as he did in Game 7 in the victory in Boston. Opens up with a 3-point shot.
Yeah, he had 11 points in that first quarter. Finally, Orlando won a first quarter. He was 5 of 6, so off to another good start here tonight. He made his first jump shot.
Varejao has been very quiet following the opening minutes of Game 1. Misfired on that shot.
But to follow that up, Marv, he had 6 points in the first minute and 30. He's had 16 points in the last 94 minutes.
They double on Howard. Good ball movement. Lewis on the drive, and it's deflected out. Last touch by the Cavs.
The toughest matchup is for Varejao. And if you're not going to post and not be able to rebound, and you can see what he's done in the last 11 quarters, he's chasing Rashard Lewis out on the perimeter, and Marvin's taking him off the boards. He's only getting 4 rebounds a night.
Turkoglu puts it up for Howard. Nice play by Hedo Turkoglu. A 5-1 lead for the Magic. They doubled up on James, and he lost it. He was fouled. Foul on Turkoglu.
Well, you can see what the Cleveland is doing here early. They're trying to run some action to run LeBron James into that low post, but you can see 3 defensive players around him. The foul is called, but they'd like to see LeBron catch that ball maybe closer to the basket and be able to attack before he can be swarmed with multiple defenders.
Here's Williams putting a move on Lee, and he scores. Mo Williams, who has shot very poorly in this series after shooting 47% during the regular season. And that's the big factor here tonight. Can Mo Williams get back into it at the offensive end? As Howard goes up, he's hit from behind. And Dwight Howard will go to the line. Foul on Varejao. And for more on Mo, let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, after guaranteeing a victory yesterday, Mo Williams decided he better do something to prepare to make sure that he did something to make sure that it happened. At 8:30 this morning, 12 hours before tip and an hour and a half before their shoot-around this morning, he was out here in full lather, working hard at every possible shot with people running at him in his face. I asked him why he came so early. He said, listen, I'm not a streak shooter. I can't turn it on and off. I am not in a rhythm. I'm married to guarantee. I have to come out here, try to find a rhythm. I said, you have one? He goes, yeah, I just don't know if I can carry it for 12 hours into the game. But he looks good so far.
All right, Dwight Howard, who hit 14 of 19 the other night. 1 of 2 here. You know, for what it's worth, I know he kind of guaranteed the win for the Cavs tonight. When you're asked by a reporter, can you win tonight? What are you going to say? Although you could pull it back a little as West rims out and it's knocked out of bounds. Guys should soften it. They should say, well, I like our chances.
I agree with that. I agree. You know what happens sometimes? Guys sit down and they start talking, and they get led to certain areas. You can see now, Mark, 34% and 30%. In the regular season, he shot 44% from behind the three-point line, and he and West and Ilgauskas have all gone cold at the same time.
2 minutes gone by. Williams rebounded by Lee.
And Orlando wants to push this ball. They want to play in a transition so they can do that. Get quick post-ups for Dwight Howard. Run him deep to the front of the rim. Get in the ball quickly so they cannot double-team him.
And Howard able to hit on that hook shot that has had its ups and downs. Still working on coming up with a go-to move. Williams draws the foul. Nice fake, and Alston went for it.
See, one of the things I think that's bothered Mo Williams, I think he's been a little bit quick with his shooting. Sometimes what happens, you get out of rhythm. And what they're doing is they run this, they call a little flex action, where you run a little cut with LeBron over the top to the post, and then Mo Williams, after he sets the screen, comes up off a screen. They're running that play to get some motion here. We have not seen much of that in the series, and more importantly, you saw him use the ball fake that time. And I don't think he's used that enough. Ball fake, that time lean in, you get the fouls, or a ball fake, get the guy in there, use the escape dribble, and free yourself up for maybe a two-pointer instead of a three.
You saw the numbers on Mo Williams, and overall coming into tonight, he is just 18 of 56 from the field in the first 3 games of this series.
Now 6 of 24 from 3.
8-5 lead for the Magic. Alston passed on the shot. There's Turkoglu over West. So Hedo Turkoglu, who hit only 1 for 11 the other night, is able to knock it down to the Magic, connecting on their first 4 shots.
Well, you talk about a tough matchup. Delonte West is 6'2", guarding the 6'9", 6'10" Hedo Turkoglu.
Ilgauskas, and that could be a good sign for the Cavaliers. Could not find the range the other night. And Delonte West is listed at 6'3". Off the steal, here comes James, and he hammers it down. West listed at 6'3", but He says he's 6'2", giving away yet another inch to Turkoglu.
That makes him a little tougher.
Exactly.
The smaller you are, I got a tougher match up here, Marv, you know?
So he's giving away 8 inches, not 7. Howard, rebounded Gauskas. Cavaliers down by a point.
Mike Brown talked about getting the ball up the floor quicker and getting into the offense sooner. Looks like Cleveland's doing a better job of that here early. Let's see if they can do it for 48 minutes.
Here's Williams for 3. Rebounded by Turkoglu.
In and out, that ball was right in.
James coming over to help. Howard gets inside.
See, when they get into that quick post, you can't get over into that double team. And so Magic are doing a great job early offense going right to Dwight Howard. And Ilgauskas just does not have the foot speed to play him down there.
Good start for Howard, 7 points. Ilgauskas inside, and Howard wisely, seeing that Zydrunas was that deep, let him go, does not want to pick up the early fouls, and that has been a pattern for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he got 2 fouls in the first 6 minutes the other day.
Alston for 3.
That's that pick and roll, and Dwight Howard is making great decisions. He catches the ball at the foul line, Marv, and he's got 3-point shooters in both corners. Caught the ball, took his time, found Alston, and he knocked down the 3.
No question, LeBron looking for teammates here at the start, trying to get everyone involved. And a foul is, now again, a defensive 3 is called. That's the second defensive 3 over the first 5 minutes called on the Magic.
Now, if you're Mo Williams, you got to like this, and I tell you why. He's gone to the line now. He's made 4 free throws. Reggie Miller's setting up there, Kenny Smith, both those guys shooters. They know that when you're struggling, if you can get to the free throw line or you can get a layup and you see that ball go in, give such positive thoughts. So 4 out of 4 from the free throw line here for Mo Williams to start this game.
That was deflected, so Williams able to retrieve. Here's Mo on the penetration and rejected by Howard. Stolen by Williams. And a foul. Mo Williams slapping it away and made contact.
This is only his 3rd block shot of the series. They have taken his shot blocking out of the series, not this one. Comes over with that left hand nicely, and then Mo Williams comes back and gets the foul, but only 3 blocks. Now, he almost averaged 3 blocks a game as the Defensive Player of the Year.
Howard beat Ilgauskas to position, and the foul is on Ilgauskas. We were talking about Dwight Howard earlier with head coach Stan Van Gundy as to the problems that Howard has had in trying to block shots that are offered up by LeBron James, and Stan saying that he just can't get the proper angle on James.
Well, you know what happens also too, LeBron sees him and he drives that ball right into his chest, Marv, so he creates contact. We got a shot blocker up there in our studio too, Charles Barkley, and that's what you do. You take the ball into the body of a shot blocker and he can't jump. The last block shot that he got, did you notice he had freedom there? Nobody was around him. He came right over, and normally you block somebody's shot off the ball. You very rarely block your own man's shot.
Howard 2 of 3 at the line. Remember, the Magic had that 2-1 lead on the Celtics, and then Boston came here to Orlando. They won on the shot by Big Baby Davis. Celtics taking a 3-2 lead, but Orlando won games 6 and 7 to pull out that series with the victory in Boston in game 7. Here's James going at Howard that time. Howard had the angle. James had to give it up. Williams cannot hit.
Mo Williams is getting good shots, just not knocking them in. He's had 2 wide open looks from that 3-point line right out of the corner.
Howard spinning his way, and once again able to hit the hook.
Well, he's gotten 11 points here early on, 4 of 5. Alston is 2 of 2, so those guys have 17 of the 19 points. That's that inside-outside attack.
Delonte West. Halfway through the first, a 19-14 lead for the Magic.
Well, they have one thing in mind. That is going into the post. They double team. They're going to look for the 3-point shot. Here it is once again. This time Alston misses.
Alston coming up short as James was able to close. Now LeBron on the post. Goes behind the back to Varejao. What a pass.
Now that is sort of reminiscent of game 1 when Varejao got those 6 early points. LeBron found him when he got into the post. They tilt their defense, they load it, and that weak side cutters are open. LeBron James loves to pass, and he's not been able to pass in this series much because his teammates aren't making shots. That is a spectacular pass and an easy score for Varejao.
Here in Orlando, as we welcome you back, it is time for Gatorade Around the Cooler. Let's go to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, after scoring 43% of his team's points in the first 3 games, LeBron James could use a little help from his friends, his Cavs teammates. But instead of blaming them, he told me today that he is also to blame. He and assistant coach Chris Jett looked at every possession from Game 3. What LeBron says happened was when they took the defense toward him, there are times that the slashing lanes are open, as we just saw with Andy Varejao, or other times that teammates are open, the spacing is there, but he hasn't recognized it. And although he had 41 points in Game 3, he was only 2 for 15 from the perimeter. He says his shooting, his feet were too tight. He was not spread out enough. He was not decisive enough. He was not making quick decisions. So LeBron says he is partially to blame, and he's working on it for tonight. Mark?
All right, Craig. Courtney Lee not able to hit. Chris Jett, incidentally, one-time interim head coach of the Magic. That was back in 2005 as he took over for Johnny Davis toward the end of the season. A member of that Houston Rockets championship team, although did not get much playing time. Ilgauskas coming up short. The ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Magic.
Well, that's just a follow-up on Craig's report there. You saw it once again. LeBron caught the ball, and he had his eyes to see the entire floor. Guys were cutting. Finally, Big Z Ilgauskas stepped into that open area and just couldn't finish, but they had another point-blank layout. So they've had some good looks here in this game early.
Fast start for the Magic. They've hit 7 of their first 9, 2 of 3 from downtown, both by Rafer Alston. James gets it in. Varejao passed on that shot. West for 3. Rebounded by Turkoglu.
Well, 2 for 9 start for West and Mo Williams, so still not shooting the ball well.
Mike Brown telling us, though, he will go to Wally Szczerbiak tonight, looking for some offense. So Wally has not played the last 2 games. Here's Lewis open for 3. Rebounded by Williams.
See, when that ball goes in the basket, though, when you double team, you're scrambling. Rashard Lewis had a wide open 3.
Here is James. So LeBron James, who had so much difficulty hitting from beyond the paint the other night, just 2 of 15 from the perimeter, knocks down the jumper. Howard off the pass. Rebounded by Ilgauskas. And a foul, touch foul called on Alston. 13 foul on the Magic. Cavaliers have 3. Here comes Anthony Johnson. They come on for Rafer Alston.
You know, Marv, it's interesting. Turkoglu and Lewis off to a very slow start here tonight offensively. They'll combine 1 or 2. And remember when they got off to the slow start in Cleveland, in those 2 games they had 1 point, and they were 0 for 10. So both of those, now Rashard did have 5 points in the Game 3. He hit a couple baskets, but both of these guys have gotten off to slow starts in 3 of the 4 games now.
And Dwight Howard with 11 of Orlando's last 16 points. He has been the offensive weapon here at the start. Foul on Johnson. Going up against his good friend Mo Williams. Anthony Johnson with that elbow of Mo Williams after Williams had fouled him, and Mo needed 4 stitches around his left eye. It was originally called a flagrant, and the flagrant foul was rescinded by the NBA. James with the rainbow, and it's snatched by Howard.
See, LeBron never was on balance that time. As he came off, he slipped and fell. That's one of those where you just got to pull it out and make sure you're in good balance. What he talked about with Sager in the last game, that he wasn't in great balance.
Johnson tried to pull up, and he's hit. He was fouled. Foul on Varejao. That's his second. Well, talking about that elbow, late second quarter. Here's the play as Mo took it right around the eye, opening up 2 cuts. And Johnson was called for that flagrant 1. And as I mentioned, that was canceled out by the league. And Mo Williams needed 4 stitches to close the cut. You were telling me earlier you once took 40 stitches around the eye?
I did. I got an elbow and it just exploded. I remember Isaiah Thomas got about an 80 from a Karl Malone elbow and came back and played later in that game. But it's sort of the interesting thing about that Mo Williams foul. Initially it was a flagrant 2, and Mo Williams had run into the locker room to get his eyes stitched up. Well, the flagrant 2, someone else can shoot the free throws. The flagrant 1, when it was downgraded, he had to come out shoot the free throws, because if he didn't, he couldn't have gone back in the game.
And then the flagrant 1
went to a technical. So it went
yeah.
from flagrant 2 to flagrant 1 to a technical.
Here is Lewis following the back end. Serbiak will just check in, try to save it, and stepped out. So Wally Serbiak on the floor for that shooting touch after sitting out games 2 and 3. In game 1, he played 13 minutes and was not moving well. He's been bothered by a sprained left knee, although he says he's fine.
Well, this is a better matchup in terms of Wally has the ability to get out on the perimeter and play Lewis. Nice cut here by Courtney Lee, and a beautiful block by Delonte West.
All right, here's Williams putting the speed on, and he's fouled. Anthony Johnson turned his back, but made contact.
See, there's a lot of ways to score. Remember LeBron the other night had 41 points, and you said he only hit 2 jumpers, Marv, 2 of 15. Well, here now is Mo Williams. He's 1 of 5 in the game. This is going to be his 5th and 6th free throws. So he's going to end up possibly with a double-digit quarter without really shooting the ball. Sometimes you just have to manufacture points. You have to drive the ball. You have to be aggressive. You know, you have to find a way to be productive.
And Mo Williams, an excellent free throw shooter, 91% during the regular season. It was foul-filled the other night, and you can see as the series has progressed, the number of fouls and free throw attempts has increased.
Yeah, game 1 was sort of a pretty game. You know, nice flow, guys shooting, not many fouls. I think it was 12 of 14 for the Magic, 14 of 17 for Cleveland. So they shot 31 free throws. And since they went to fouling Dwight Howard, now it's become a foul fest.
Cavaliers have taken a 1-point lead. They've scored 8 consecutive to lead it 20-19. Shot clock at 5. This is Michael Petras, who just came on. Michael Petras has had an excellent playoff starting with the Boston series. Williams keeping that alive. Ilgauskas working on Howard. Tries a post-up move, which we rarely see from Zydrunas.
Remember in game 2, Marv, they posted him early. He had 3 early baskets, but you're right, they very rarely have posted him against Howard.
Lee not able to hit the 3. So the Magic cooling off after the hot start. James wide open for 3. Yes.
I don't know if he rolled his ankle, but he's limping coming out after that shot. He was 1 of 8 from 3 the other night.
LeBron trying to hang in. His team now leads by 4. Just under 2 minutes left in the first. Lewis trying to take advantage of Serbiak, could not.
Now Wally's pretty strong. If he can push him off the block, Howard is strong enough and tall enough to shoot over him, but he did a nice job that time defensively, forced him into a very difficult shot.
James looking for Serbiak, and it will be Orlando ball. Cavaliers take a timeout. They've scored 11 consecutive, and you see how LeBron hurt his leg.
Big thing is, let's defend and rebound and get out and run, okay? Defend and rebound, we'll get whatever we want in transition now. Let's go.
Well, this is what Stan Van Gundy's talking about. Marv, it's interesting, but normally teams are better at home offensively and usually on the road have to win with defense. But the Magic, look at them. 5-2 here at home, 4-1 when they've shot under 45%. They're shooting 44% in the 7 games. Look at the three-point shooting. Under 16 assists because they haven't shot well, but look when they go on the road. So it's interesting. They're a better defensive team at home in terms of having to win that way, and then on the road, it seems like they shoot the ball better. So that's what Stan's talking about. Get out and get in transition. But in transition early in the game, it's been Cleveland. They had 3 fast break points in game 3. They already have 9 here in this first quarter. So Mike Brown said, look for early offense, and they are doing that.
Daniel Gibson has come on, and he's defending on Anthony Johnson. Johnson playing with the 2 fouls. Turkoglu works off the pick from Howard. Johnson gets it down low. Howard not able to hang on. Shot clock to 5. Petras draws the foul. Foul on James. Nice fake by Mike Michael Petras. For LeBron, it's his first.
Now, Michael Petras got to the line 7 times the other night and made all 7. He was stuck here, no place to go, and LeBron very upset with himself. Now, he was a really good sport afterwards and helped Michael Petras up, but I guarantee you he was upset that he bit on that shot fake.
Michael Petras, as you see, outscored the Cavalier bench 39-27 by himself. First 3 games. Michael Petras with several solid performances over the start of this series. Had the hot hand against the Celtics in the previous 7-game set. First points for the Magic in over 5 minutes. And Wallace has come on for Cleveland. So Gibson and West in the backcourt. Wallace with Serbiak and James on the front line. Nice pass. Wallace with the pass from James. A look away by LeBron James.
I think that's all because Cleveland is moving better without the basketball. They're not standing and watching LeBron. They're cutting to open areas that he's rewarding. He loves to pass.
Wallace stepped away to avoid the foul. Here's James trying to put a move on Petras. Wallace with a good pick. LeBron cannot hit, and Ben Wallace slaps at it, knocks it out of bounds, but he's very active here in this opening quarter.
You know, maybe the best quarter offensively for Cleveland was in game 1, that first quarter when they scored 33. LeBron had only 10 of them and did not have any of the first 21. That might have been their best balanced quarter this entire series.
Now LeBron James has attempted 6 shots, but he's looking to get teammates involved, and miscommunication there, and on the turnover, the ball back to the Cavaliers. Now this is a Cleveland team that went 66-16 in the regular season, best record in the league, franchise record with 66 wins. They win 13 of the last 14. They had a 13-game win streak. They won 23 straight at home over one stretch. Final seconds of the quarter. Here's James to the rim. James thought he was fouled by Howard. There was no call. So that's the end of 1. And the Cavaliers with a 25-21 lead. LeBron James with 7 points. Mo Williams with 8. Dwight Howard leads the Magic with 11.